I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and this is my video blog. Today we're joined by the current world's leader, Paul Ulibarri. Oh, I'm sorry, Ulibarri?
Yes.
Ula what?
Ulibarri.
Ulibarri, you heard it here, Ulibarri. Paul, how you doing? This is a pretty big week. Tell us about it.
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, playing some good golf, playing pretty consistent. Just got to make sure I'm there on Saturday.
Making sure he's there on Saturday. So right now you're sitting in the lead. Things are going pretty well. You've got a one-stroke margin, one stroke, and it's been really tight all week. We talked with Matty O at the beginning of the week. Josh Anthon, a bunch of other guys are telling us it's going to be tight, and they're saying it's probably going to come down to putting. Tell us about your putting.
I've been putting pretty well.
Okay. Big putts, little putts, just everything inside the circle or anything specific?
I've missed a few putts here and there, but for the most part, just the ones that you really need to make, right around the circle or inside the circle.
So is it true, I've seen you out on tour, is it true that you're one of the best putting impression people out there, as in you can duplicate or copy anyone else's putt if you need to?
Well, I don't know about that, but I try to imitate people.
And is that the imitation is a form of flattery? Is that where that comes from?
I guess.
Okay, so navigate us through the courses. Tell us a little bit about, you've now seen them all at least once. You've played the Gold twice. Tell us a little bit about, we'll start with the Gold course, which is probably the hardest to score on, or the hardest SSA anyways, in terms of scoring. You shot a 57 today?
Yes.
Which is a pretty good score. And what did you shoot the first day you played it?
55.
55. So that's pretty good scoring. What was your key to success on that course?
Actually, it happened a couple different ways. The first round, I made a few early mistakes, and then I played really well after that. And then this last round, I played well early and then just didn't finish my round. So, it's just one of those courses where you could be playing well and all of a sudden, you hit a curb bump and then all of a sudden, you got to scramble and you're throwing different shots here and there. But for the most part, you just got to make your putts and you got to stay in the fairway.
So at any point, and we talked about this earlier in the week, at any point were you into the woods or the shul or whatever you want to call it, that you actually had to just pitch out to a fairway? Were you ever off the fairway that bad, or were you always scrambling and finding a way to make something work with your bad shots?
Today I had to do that like 2 or 3 times, and there was one time where I actually didn't do it, and I tried a crazy route and it didn't work out for me. So it's definitely a course where when you throw a bad shot, you got to take your punishment. You have to pitch out.
And that's probably, I guess what I was alluding to is that's kind of our tip from the pros here. Far too often at any tournament, big or small, you get off the woods, you're in the shul, and then you think, oh, if I just hit this tiny little window up here, I might be able to scramble and save a par. Well, you might turn that into a 5 or a 6 or an 8 or something. So sometimes just pitching out to the fairway is the way to do it. So you played the red and the blue also just yesterday. How did you go through those?
The blue course, I kind of started out slow, but there's so many birdies there that you basically have to be putting well. As long as you're putting well, you're going to score. It's a pretty wide open course. The red course is kind of fluky in my opinion. I mean, you're going to get a couple bad kicks there also, and you're going to, it comes down to putting there too. You got to make your putts and you got to score.
That's fair enough. One of the questions that we haven't really asked as many people here on our blogs, but maybe we'll start doing more often, is what are you throwing out there in terms of disc, whether it's the latest and greatest, tried and true, or a mixture of them. Tell us just a little bit about your disc selection, what you're throwing, what's working, what's not working, if you've tried some of what's going on out there.
Well, I'm sure it's pretty typical of a normal, Innova guy. I throw destroyers off the tee for my long hyzers, and I throw firebirds for, the windy situations, leopards for straight shots, and everybody has to have a rock in their bag, so.
Or a couple of them. Then I would just assume you're an AVR putter.
Yes.
Soft, hard, KC, JK, old,
no bead.
Old, no bead. Okay, that's a pretty unique combination out there. You're seeing a lot of guys that go with a KC AVR, whether it's 10 or 11 or 12 time KC AVRs, but an old, no bead. Do you got somebody have a stash of those that you got your hands on too?
Oh man, I just try and get as many as them as I can, traveling and stuff.
So you're a younger guy. There's a lot of younger guns out there that are shooting well. The whole leader card is full of younger guys. We're seeing that kind of movement lately. What are your goals for finishing up this week? I expect nothing less than you're going to want to win it. But this week and then moving forward, where do you see your goals within your young disc golf career?
Well, for this tournament, I just want to feel like I played well. so far I played well every round, and I can come off the course and be satisfied. And as long as I keep doing that, if somebody beats me, hats off to them. As long as I play well. For long term, I'm gonna get a world championship. I'll tell you right now.
Okay, you heard it here first, guys.
Absolutely. I'm dedicated. I practice a lot, and it'll come eventually. I don't rush things.
So how old are you right now?
21.
21, and you've had some success in some other bigger tournaments, including a few years back and even in the amateur days. What would you give for any tips or pointers? I mean, Josh Anthon, for instance, talks about practice your putting. Do you have any specific tips or pointers that you might want to give to some up-and-coming guys?
It's really just putting in your time. So many people expect to be good right away, but people develop bad habits and watch your local pros just like all the other pros say, and practice.
Who are some of your mentors, or some of the guys that maybe taught you how to play the game?
Oh man, I have so many of them. I'm lucky enough that after winning the AM World Championships, I got to see and watch the best players in the world, from Ken Klein to Dave Feldman and Avery Jenkins. But back home, it's just local people. Like one of my biggest mentors is Dan Ginley and Rory Self, and just local love.
Those are great players and great mentors to have, which is awesome. Well, as always, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. I talk to all of our guys that come through here, and we see lots of great players, whether they're shooting lights out or they just had a bad day. Either way, we always wish them the best of luck. The World Championships has been a pretty big experience already. I mean, being a leader for 2 or 3 of the rounds, is that how it's gone so far for you?
Well, I've led.
You've led so far. All right. Well, I don't have much else to say besides that. You're shooting well. You're enjoying the game. You're enjoying here. Hopefully, Lemon Lake. Maybe not the red course isn't quite your favorite, but that doesn't mean you don't want to go out and shred it. Right. So we wish you the best luck on that. So thanks so much for taking the time with us with the disc golf guy. And check for Paul on top of the leaderboard at the end of the week. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.